Hi, welcome to the Undergraduate Admissions Open House for the Midwives College of Utah. We're excited to speak with you about how we educate students to become midwives of excellence and how we foster a strong midwifery education community. We're so excited that you're considering Midwives College of Utah on your midwifery education path. Thank you for joining us. The information we have to share with you in this presentation was compiled from the wonderful wisdom we have collected from our faculty, our staff, our house mentors, our current students, and our former students. Our students participate in surveys, and we have listened to their feedback to help directly prepare you for considering this path. We'll be covering the open house in divided video segments. After you watch the video, you'll answer questions related to the segment. Your participation will help us get to know you and learn how we can help provide any information that may be useful to you. Please do not skip any of the videos. Whether you are a newly aspiring midwife or an already practicing midwife or somewhere in between, we hope you find these videos all very valuable. We're going to put MCU in context, discuss the various pathways to becoming a midwife, review midwifery profession information about what it's really like to practice as a midwife, provide an overview of what you can expect for academics and clinicals at MCU, help you start thinking about creating a plan for student success if you decide to pursue your midwifery education goals, and ensure you know what to expect for admissions and enrollment at MCU. Ready? Let's get started. I'm Allison Juno Butler, and I use she, her, hers pronouns. I have the honor of serving as the admissions director for Midwives College of Utah. I've had a midwifery practice in the state of Nevada, and I'm also a licensed midwife in Arizona. In addition to my midwifery career, I also have a master's degree and work experience in higher education leadership at colleges and universities supporting students. In this position, I love getting to combine my professional interests and midwife aspiring midwives on their journeys. Tamara, my co-host, why don't you introduce yourself from here?
Hi, everyone. My name is Tamara Tate. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I am MCU's Director of Student Life, Equity, and Access, and also adjunct faculty. I live in Miami, Florida, where I'm a licensed midwife in the state of Florida, the owner of a birth center, and also a licensed marriage and family therapist. My role at MCU really combines my work as a psychotherapist and also my commitment to midwifery education and expanding access to direct entry midwifery in the United States. I'm pleased to get to meet all of you and to have this opportunity to introduce you a bit to MCU and also to give us an opportunity through the course of this presentation and our prompts to get to know you a little bit better as well.
Also, for part of your welcoming community committee to Midwives College of Utah are Fortune Glass Cotton and Louisa Cohen, our admissions counselors. Fortune Glass Cotton has professional and educational experience as an attorney and also as a breastfeeding advocate and breastfeeding professional. Fortune brings a lot of experience and wisdom and encouragement to helping mentor student midwives on their journey to applying and getting enrolled at Midwives College of Utah. Also joining us later in the videos will be Louisa Cohen, your admissions counselor, who's also from the Las Vegas area. Louisa has an educational and professional background in higher education leadership and a lot of professional experience in admissions departments. And Louisa also has personal experience working with midwives, which helped fuel her passion for supporting student midwives and contributing to the midwifery education community.
So we understand that this is a big moment for many of you. You're considering taking the next step to pursue a future career as a midwife. We want to encourage you to take a deep breath. Breathing really changes your physiology. It helps to regulate your nervous system. One of the most important things you will learn as you become a midwife is how to regulate your adrenaline, your emotions, and your communication. So let's just take a moment and we can all take a big, deep breath together. Let's talk a little bit about MCU. MCU is the largest MEAC accredited school MCU is degree granting. We grant the degree of a Bachelor's of Science in Midwifery and a Master's of Science in Midwifery. MCU follows a distance education model, which means that our classes are not held in person in a classroom in a brick and mortar setting. Our classes are all held online. And MCU is comprised of a fairly diverse student body of adult learners. So this all makes for a unique and dynamic learning environment. The mission of the Midwives College of Utah is visible here on your screen. So MCU provides an educational structure and an integrated learning environment for individuals to become midwives of technical expertise, professional excellence, and personal greatness. Namely midwives of excellence. By technical expertise, we mean that you have the practical skills that you need to provide midwifery care to clients. Professional excellence means that you are at or above the level of your peers in the profession. And personal greatness is our acknowledgement or desire that through this process of becoming a midwife, that you also become self-actualized, that you come into being who you are, and that you end this journey with feeling like you've achieved your goals, not just professionally, but also personally. MCU takes what I like to refer to as an ecosystem approach to midwifery education. Ecosystems, the hallmark of ecosystems is that they have genetic diversity. When we think of MCU as an ecosystem, we're really talking about a diversity of lived experiences. It's important to understand that you're joining an ecosystem and that what we strive to have our students learn over the course of their time at MCU is how to be caretakers of that ecosystem. How do they understand some of the concepts and the frameworks that underpin how we approach learning at MCU so that they can be better stewards and caretakers in our shared community. Nature functions only with biodiversity. All components, all parts of the ecosystem are important. All are necessary to the ecosystem's function, but the system's individual components can be differently impacted even within the same environment. MCU is an ecosystem, and frameworks like outward mindset, courageous conversations, our community rules of caring, our equity and social justice statement. These are all overlapping ideologies that influence our unique approach to midwifery education, and ideologies in which that we share with our students, frameworks we help them to learn and build on during their time at MCU that helps them to be better, more supportive members of our community. So our commitment to equity and social justice is best seen in black and white in our equity and social justice statement. So, part of being a midwife of excellence, we believe, is this commitment. And so MCU is a committed ally to all underrepresented individuals and families who seek access to midwifery care or who strive to become midwifery providers within their communities. Our allyship is accomplished through collaboration and humble listening, through striving to remove barriers to recruiting midwives, to retaining midwives, and to supporting the success of midwives at MCU, as well as advancing our program specifically and the profession of direct entry midwifery overall in achieving inclusivity, cultural humility, and health equity. We hope through these efforts that we take that we can broaden the reach of midwifery, the reach and benefits of midwifery care to all families, and that we can affect widespread social change in the midwifery profession. We accomplish these goals in these three ways. So institutional integration means that we create opportunities and spaces within our community to engage these subjects through spaces like courageous conversations and our parent listening circles. Curriculum integration and professional development means that our process of reviewing and looking closely at our curriculum includes assessing for things like social justice and equity, as well as providing professional training to our faculty and staff in areas of inclusion and racial literacy. And then financial and academic student support through our Breanna Blackwelder Equal Access Scholarship Fund. Breanna Blackwelder is a former student of MCU. Her photograph was on the beginning of our presentation, and our Equal Access Scholarship Fund is named in her memory. So how does equity and social justice function in the classroom? Our classrooms are really intended to be respectful spaces, so spaces where students can engage in dialogue respectfully. We recognize intersectionality is always at play in all of our interactions, and so we know that our students bring all of their social identities to the table, and we intend for our classrooms to be spaces where those social identities can be valued and recognized. We have our students complete specific coursework in the areas of equity, anti-racism, and cultural safety. And our commitment to equity is underscored in those courses, but also fostered within other courses that are part of our curriculum. We intend our students as well to learn how to provide respectful care to individuals and families in their clinical experiences. And so we typically make our trainings, whether they be around subjects of inclusion or racial literacy or social justice, available to our field faculty and clinical preceptors as well, to make sure that it's not just something that is being embodied in our instructors and staff, but in all of those people who are part of students' learning, including their field faculty.
At this point, we're going to pause here, and we look forward to your participation in the following questions. After that, please join us for the next video in this open house series.